The numbness crept in slowly at first, just a slight tingling in your toes when you woke up. Then it spread, now your feet feel like blocks of wood, you can't feel the ground beneath you anymore. Walking has become terrifying because you don't know if you're stepping on something sharp or if you're about to lose your balance and fall. And your doctor? They handed you a prescription for gabapentin, told you this is just part of getting older, and sent you on your way. But here's what they didn't tell you. That numbness in your feet isn't a normal part of aging. It's not something you just have to live with. And those medications they're prescribing, they're only masking the symptoms while your nerves continue to die. Every single day you wait, more nerve fibers are being destroyed. The window to reverse this is closing. And once those nerves are completely gone, no amount of treatment will bring back the feeling in your feet. I'm about to share something that goes against everything most doctors will tell you. Two simple things, backed by clinical research that can restore sensation to your feet faster than you ever thought possible. No expensive procedures, no dangerous surgeries, just two nutrients that work at the cellular level to repair damaged nerves and bring back the feeling you thought was gone forever. Let me be very clear about something. I was taught in medical school that peripheral neuropathy is irreversible, that once those nerves are damaged, especially after age 60, there's nothing you can do except manage the pain. But the latest research from universities around the world is proving that completely wrong. And the pharmaceutical companies don't want you to know about it because these two things cost pennies compared to their expensive medications that don't even work. Before we get into the solution, you need to understand what's actually happening inside your feet right now. Your peripheral nerves are like electrical wires running from your spinal cord all the way down to your toes. These nerves have a protective coating called the myelin sheath. And think of it like the plastic coating on an electrical wire. When that coating gets damaged or starts breaking down, the signals can't travel properly. That's when you start feeling the numbness, the tingling, that sensation like you're walking on cotton balls. Now here's where it gets interesting. Most doctors will tell you that diabetes is the main cause of this nerve damage. And yes, high blood sugar does play a role. But here's what they're missing. Even if you don't have diabetes, even if your blood sugar is perfectly normal, you can still develop severe neuropathy after age 60. Why? Because there are two critical nutrient deficiencies that happen as you age, and these deficiencies directly destroy your nerve cells. Your body stops absorbing these nutrients the way it used to. Your digestive system changes. The medications you're taking block absorption, and slowly, silently, your nerves begin to die. The medical establishment has this completely backwards. They're treating neuropathy like it's a disease that needs to be managed with drugs, pain pills, nerve blocks, antidepressants, anticonvulsants. But none of those address the root cause. None of those give your body what it desperately needs to actually repair the damaged nerves. It's like trying to fix a car that's out of gas by adjusting the radio volume. You're not solving the real problem. Let me tell you about a study that came out just last year. Researchers took over 1,200 patients with diabetic neuropathy and tested different treatments. What they found was shocking. The most commonly prescribed medications, gabapentin and pregabalin, only worked for about 25% of patients, 1 in 4. And even when they did work, they didn't heal anything. They just dulled the pain while the nerve damage continued spreading. The patients who saw real improvement, the ones who actually regained feeling in their feet, were the ones who addressed the underlying nutrient deficiencies. Now I'm going to walk you through the 4 main approaches to treating neuropathy, ranked from least effective to most effective. And I want you to pay very close attention to number 1, because that's where the real magic happens. Number 4 on this list is the approach most doctors default to: prescription medications, gabapentin, pregabalin, duloxetine, nortriptyline. These are the drugs they hand out like candy. And here's the truth about them. They don't repair nerves, they don't address the cause. All they do is interfere with pain signals in your brain. It's like turning down the volume on a fire alarm while your house is still burning. You might not hear the alarm anymore, but the fire is still raging. The side effects tell you everything you need to know: drowsiness, dizziness, that foggy feeling where you can't think straight, weight gain, depression. Some people can barely function on these medications. And the success rate? Studies show only 25 to 50% of patients get any relief at all. That means half of the people taking these drugs are suffering through the side effects for absolutely no benefit. But doctors keep prescribing them because that's what they were trained to do. They don't know what else to offer. Number 3 is something you might not have heard of. It's called benfotiamine. Now, this one is actually interesting because it does address a real problem. Benfotiamine is a fat-soluble form of vitamin B1, also called thiamine. Regular B1 from food doesn't absorb well, especially as you age. Your body needs B1 to metabolize glucose, to produce energy in your cells, to maintain that protective myelin sheath around your nerves. When you're deficient, your nerves start breaking down. Benfotiamine is absorbed much better than regular thiamine. Studies show it can get into your tissues at levels 5 times higher than the water-soluble form. The recommended dose is usually 300 milligrams twice per day for the first month, then 300 milligrams daily after that. Some people need more, some need less. It works by blocking several harmful pathways that damage your nerves when blood sugar is high. The polyol pathway, the advanced glycation end products pathway, the protein kinase C pathway. These are the mechanisms that actually destroy nerve tissue in diabetics. Clinical trials have shown some promising results. Patients taking benfotiamine reported improvements in numbness, burning sensations, and pain after several weeks. But here's the catch. The results are inconsistent. Some studies show significant benefits. Others show almost no difference compared to placebo. Why? Because benfotiamine only addresses one piece of the puzzle. It's not enough on its own. You need more than just B1 to truly regenerate damaged nerves. Number 2 is something your doctor probably never tested you for: vitamin B12, specifically the methylcobalamin form. This is absolutely critical, and here's why. Vitamin B12 is essential for maintaining the myelin sheath that protects your nerves. Without adequate B12, that protective coating deteriorates. The nerve fibers become exposed. They start misfiring, sending wrong signals or no signals at all. Here's what most people don't realize. B12 deficiency is extremely common in people over 60. Some studies show up to 40% of seniors are deficient. Your stomach produces less of the protein needed to absorb B12 as you age. If you're taking metformin for diabetes, that drug actively blocks B12 absorption. Proton pump inhibitors for acid reflux, same problem. Even antacids can interfere with B12 uptake. You could be eating plenty of B12-rich foods and still be severely deficient because your body can't absorb it anymore. The symptoms of B12 deficiency look identical to peripheral neuropathy: numbness in the feet and hands, tingling, burning sensations, loss of balance, difficulty walking, memory problems, fatigue. Many people are being diagnosed with irreversible neuropathy when all they really have is a B12 deficiency that could be fixed in a matter of weeks. Now, not all B12 is created equal. The form matters tremendously. Cyanocobalamin is the cheap, synthetic form you find in most supplements and fortified foods. Your body has to convert it into the active forms before it can use it. That conversion process doesn't work well in many people, especially seniors. Methylcobalamin is the active form. It goes straight to work. No conversion needed. It crosses into your nervous system more easily. This is the form you want. The dosage is important too. Most multivitamins contain a pathetic 6 micrograms of B12. That might prevent outright deficiency, but it's nowhere near enough to repair damaged nerves. You need 1,000 to 2,000 micrograms per day minimum. Some doctors use even higher doses for severe cases. And here's something critical. If your B12 levels have been low for a long time, oral supplementation might not be enough. You might need injections to bypass the absorption problem entirely. Injectable B12 gets into your system at much higher levels and starts working immediately. Studies have shown that B12 supplementation can stop the progression of neuropathy and, in many cases, reverse the symptoms. One study followed diabetic patients with neuropathy for 1 year. Those who received high-dose methylcobalamin showed significant improvements in nerve conduction velocity, reduction in pain scores, and restoration of sensation. The placebo group continued to deteriorate. That's the difference between addressing the cause and just masking symptoms. But even B12, as important as it is, isn't the complete answer. You can take all the B12 in the world, but if you're missing this next nutrient, your nerves still won't heal properly. Which brings us to number 1, alpha-lipoic acid, This is the game changer. This is what the research is calling a universal antioxidant because it works in both water and fat-based tissues. It can cross the blood-brain barrier. It regenerates other antioxidants like vitamin C and vitamin E. But most importantly for neuropathy, it directly protects nerve cells from oxidative damage and improves blood flow to the nerves. Here's what happens when you have neuropathy. Your nerve cells are under constant attack from free radicals and oxidative stress. This damage comes from high blood sugar, inflammation, poor circulation, toxins, aging. Your body's natural antioxidant systems can't keep up. The mitochondria in your nerve cells, the little energy factories, start producing harmful reactive oxygen species. This creates a vicious cycle. More oxidative stress leads to more nerve damage, which leads to more oxidative stress. Alpha-lipoic acid breaks that cycle. It neutralizes those free radicals. It reduces inflammation. It improves glucose metabolism so your cells can produce energy more efficiently. It increases something called glutathione, which is your body's master antioxidant. And perhaps most importantly, it improves microcirculation. Those tiny blood vessels that feed your nerves start working better. More oxygen, more nutrients, better waste removal. The nerve cells get what they need to repair themselves. The clinical evidence is overwhelming. Over 15 major studies involving thousands of patients have tested alpha-lipoic acid for diabetic neuropathy. The results are consistent. 600 milligrams per day significantly reduces numbness, burning, pain, and tingling. Some studies used intravenous administration for faster results. Others used oral supplements. Both worked. The IV form worked faster, showing improvements in as little as 3 weeks. The oral form took longer, usually 4 to 6 months for maximum benefit, but still produced significant improvements. One particularly impressive study looked at 1,258 patients with diabetic neuropathy. They were given 600 milligrams of alpha-lipoic acid intravenously once a day for 3 weeks. At the end of the trial, the majority showed dramatic reductions in all neuropathy symptoms. Pain scores dropped, numbness improved, sensation returned to areas that had been completely numb. The results were so clear that alpha-lipoic acid is now approved in Germany as a prescription treatment for diabetic neuropathy. But you don't need a prescription to get it. Alpha-lipoic acid is available as an over-the-counter supplement in most countries. The key is getting the right dose. Most supplements contain 100 or 200 milligrams. That's not enough. You need 600 milligrams per day to match what the research shows works. Some practitioners use up to 1,800 milligrams for severe cases, split into 3 doses throughout the day. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. When you combine alpha-lipoic acid with methylcobalamin B12, the effects are synergistic. They work together in a way that's more powerful than either one alone. The B12 rebuilds the myelin sheath. The alpha-lipoic acid protects the nerve cells and improves blood flow. Together, they create the perfect environment for nerve regeneration. Several studies have tested this combination specifically. One trial followed patients for 12 months. Half received alpha-lipoic acid plus methylcobalamin. The other half received standard medical care. The combination group showed progressive improvement throughout the year. Better nerve conduction studies, reduced pain, improved balance, return of protective sensation in their feet. The standard care group showed either no change or continued deterioration. Let me tell you about something else that amplifies the effectiveness of these two nutrients: infrared light exposure. This is based on research showing that a significant portion of the sun's energy, over 50%, is infrared radiation. Infrared has unique properties. It penetrates deep into tissues, it increases circulation, it reduces inflammation. And here's the fascinating part. It helps create what scientists call structured water in your cells and blood. Your blood is mostly water. But not all water is the same at the molecular level. Structured water has a different arrangement of molecules that makes it more efficient for biological processes. Infrared energy helps organize water molecules into this structured form. This improves how nutrients and oxygen get delivered to your cells. It improves how waste products get removed, better circulation, better cellular function, better nerve healing. You don't need expensive equipment for this. The simplest way is sun exposure. Get outside, let the sun hit your bare skin, especially your legs and feet where the neuropathy is worst. Even 20 to 30 minutes a day makes a difference. If you live somewhere with limited sun, especially in winter, you can use an infrared sauna. Or even simpler, sit in front of a fireplace or campfire. Wood fires produce substantial infrared radiation. You'll feel the warmth penetrating deep into your tissues. That's the infrared working. The combination of infrared exposure with alpha lipoic acid and B12 creates a triple effect. The infrared improves circulation and cellular function. The alpha lipoic acid protects nerves and reduces oxidative stress. The B12 rebuilds myelin and restores nerve signal transmission. All three working together create optimal conditions for nerve regeneration. Now let's talk about implementation. How do you actually put this into practice? First, get your B12 levels tested. Ask for methylmalonic acid and homocysteine along with serum B12. Those give you a more accurate picture of your functional B12 status. If you're deficient, consider starting with injectable B12, especially if you've had symptoms for more than a year. Weekly injections for 4 to 8 weeks, then monthly maintenance. If your levels are borderline or you prefer oral supplements, take 1,000 to 2,000 micrograms of methylcobalamin daily. Second, start alpha lipoic acid at 600 milligrams per day. Take it on an empty stomach for better absorption. Some people experience mild stomach upset when they first start. If that happens, take it with a small amount of food and gradually work up to taking it on an empty stomach. The effects are cumulative. You might notice some improvement in the first few weeks, but maximum benefits usually take 3 to 6 months of consistent use. Third, add infrared exposure. Sun is best if available, 20 to 30 minutes daily on exposed skin. If that's not practical, invest in a small infrared lamp or sauna. Even 15 minutes a day helps. The key is consistency. This needs to become part of your daily routine. Fourth, address the underlying causes. If you have diabetes or prediabetes, you must get your blood sugar under control. High glucose actively destroys nerves every single day. Cut out the refined carbohydrates. No bread, pasta, cereal, crackers, rice, potatoes. These spike your blood sugar and deplete your B vitamins even further. Focus on protein, healthy fats, and non-starchy vegetables. This alone will dramatically reduce the rate of nerve damage. Fifth, increase your dietary potassium. This is especially important if you have swelling in your feet and ankles. Potassium is a natural diuretic. It helps your body eliminate excess fluid. You need 3,000 to 4,000 milligrams per day from food sources: leafy greens, avocados, salmon, mushrooms. If you can't get enough from food, supplement with potassium citrate or potassium chloride, 1,000 to 2,000 milligrams daily. If you're experiencing muscle cramps along with the neuropathy, that's usually a magnesium deficiency, not poor circulation. Magnesium is critical for nerve function, muscle relaxation, and energy production. The problem is, you can't accurately test for it because 99% of your body's magnesium is inside your cells, not in your blood. Standard blood tests miss deficiencies. Take 400 to 600 milligrams of magnesium glycinate daily. This form absorbs well and doesn't cause digestive upset like cheaper forms. Consider adding benfotiamine as well, especially if you're diabetic. 300 milligrams twice daily for the first month, then 300 milligrams daily for maintenance. This works synergistically with the B12 and alpha lipoic acid to provide comprehensive nerve support. Here's what you can expect if you follow this protocol consistently. In the first 2 to 4 weeks, you might notice the burning sensation starts to ease. The constant discomfort that kept you awake at night begins to settle down. By 6 to 8 weeks, many people report improved balance. They feel more stable on their feet. The fear of falling decreases. Between 3 and 6 months, this is where the real changes happen. Numbness starts to recede. You begin feeling textures again. Temperature sensation returns. That dead block of wood feeling transforms into actual functional feet. Not everyone responds at the same rate. Some people see dramatic improvements in just a few weeks. Others take 6 months or longer. It depends on how severe your neuropathy is, how long you've had it, what's causing it, and how well you address the underlying factors. But the research is clear. The majority of people who stick with this protocol see significant improvement. Far better results than anything prescription medications can offer. The key is you have to be consistent. You can't take these supplements sporadically and expect results. Your nerves are rebuilding. That takes time. It takes sustained nutritional support. It takes patience. But unlike medications that just mask symptoms, this approach actually heals. You're giving your body the raw materials it needs to repair the damage. One more critical point: start now. Not next week, not next month, right now. Every day that passes with deficient B12 and inadequate antioxidant protection, more nerve fibers are dying. There is a point of no return. Once enough nerves are completely destroyed, no amount of supplementation will bring them back. You still have a window where regeneration is possible, but that window is closing. The sooner you start, the more nerve function you can save and restore. This isn't complicated. This isn't expensive. 2 nutrients, alpha lipoic acid and methylcobalamin B12. Add infrared exposure, clean up your diet, address mineral deficiencies. That's it. No prescriptions needed, no dangerous side effects, just simple research-backed interventions that work at the cellular level to repair damaged nerves. Your doctor won't tell you this because they weren't trained in nutritional therapy. They were trained to prescribe drugs. The pharmaceutical companies don't want you to know this because they can't patent nutrients. There's no money in telling you that a $20 bottle of alpha lipoic acid works better than their $300 per month medications. But the research is there, the clinical evidence is overwhelming, and thousands of people have already used this approach to restore feeling to their feet. You have a choice. You can keep doing what you've been doing. Keep taking medications that don't work. Keep accepting that this is just part of getting older. Keep watching the numbness spread further up your legs. Or you can take action. Give your body what it needs, support your nerves at the cellular level, and watch as sensation slowly returns to areas you thought were gone forever. The numbness in your feet is not a life sentence. It's not irreversible. Your nerves have an incredible capacity to heal when you give them the right support. 2 simple things: alpha lipoic acid, 600 milligrams daily; methylcobalamin B12, 1,000 to 2,000 micrograms daily. Combined with infrared exposure and proper nutrition. That's the protocol. That's what the research shows works. That's what can bring the feeling back to your feet. Don't wait another day. Your nerves are dying right now. Every moment you delay is nerve function you might never get back. But if you act now, if you start this protocol today, you give yourself the best possible chance at restoration. The window is still open, but it won't stay open forever. Take control, take back your feet, take back your independence. The solution is in your hands. 2 nutrients, proven by science, backed by clinical trials, available right now, no prescription required, no permission needed, just action, just commitment, just the decision to stop accepting decline and start demanding restoration. Your feet carried you through life. They walked you through your childhood. They stood by you at your wedding. They chased after your kids. They explored new places. They danced. They ran. They climbed. They deserve better than to become numb blocks of wood attached to your legs. They deserve the care and nutrition they need to function properly again. And you deserve to walk without fear, to feel the ground beneath you, to know exactly where your feet are and what they're touching, to have balance and stability, to move through the world with confidence instead of terror. That's not too much to ask. That's not unrealistic. That's completely achievable with the right approach. The medical system failed you by telling you this is irreversible. The pharmaceutical companies failed you by pushing drugs that don't heal. Your previous doctors failed you by not testing your B12 levels or educating you about oxidative stress and nerve nutrition. But you don't have to keep failing yourself. You have the information now. You know what works. You know what the research says. The only question is whether you'll act on it. I've seen people in their 70s and 80s regain sensation they hadn't felt in years. I've watched patients who could barely walk without assistance return to hiking and gardening. I've heard countless stories of people who were told their neuropathy was permanent and irreversible, completely reverse their symptoms with this exact protocol. It works. Not for everyone, not 100% of the time, but for the vast majority of people who commit to it consistently. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't genetics. It's not luck. It's not severity of symptoms. The difference is action. The people who get results are the ones who start immediately, stick with it religiously, and give their bodies the sustained support needed for nerve regeneration. The people who don't get results are the ones who try it for 2 weeks, don't see instant miracles, and give up. Or the ones who take it sporadically when they remember. Or the ones who keep waiting for the perfect time to start. I've seen people in their 70s and 80s regain sensation they hadn't felt in years. I've watched patients who could barely walk without assistance return to hiking and gardening. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is simple: action. The people who get results are the ones who start immediately and stick with it. The people who don't get results try it for 2 weeks and give up. There is no perfect time. There's only now. This is your opportunity to change the trajectory of your neuropathy, to stop the progression, to reverse the damage, but that opportunity requires decisive action. Get methylcobalamin B12. Get alpha lipoic acid. Right forms, right doses. 1,000 to 2,000 micrograms of methylcobalamin. 600 milligrams of alpha lipoic acid. Start today. Get sun exposure for infrared. Cut refined carbs. Add potassium-rich foods. Take magnesium. Do this consistently for 3 months. Document your symptoms now. Rate your numbness on a scale of 1 to 10. Test your balance. Then evaluate again in 3 months. I'm confident you'll see improvement. Maybe not complete resolution if you've had severe neuropathy for years, but real progress. Restoration of function you thought was gone forever. Keep going for 6 months. For a year. Give your nerves the time they need to regenerate. This is your path forward. Real healing. Real restoration based on clinical evidence. 2 nutrients working together to repair your damaged nerves: alpha lipoic acid and methylcobalamin B12. That's what the research shows works. These 2 are the foundation, the essentials for restoring sensation to your feet. Stop waiting for your doctor to figure this out. Stop hoping the next medication will be different. Take control, take action. Your feet are counting on you. The numbness doesn't have to be permanent. You can stop it, you can reverse it, but only if you act, only if you start giving your nerves what they need to heal. 2 simple things, backed by research, available right now. Make the decision, start today. And 6 months from now, when you're feeling the ground beneath your feet again, when you're walking with confidence, you'll thank yourself for acting. This is your moment. This is your solution.